What's up, YouTube? Back with another vlog to cover the rebound here. So, if you are new here, please like the video, share the video, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Help me grow this. If you have not seen the leg day training vlog, which was the last video posted, go give that a like. The link for that video should be in the comments here. Gonna aim to keep putting up 2 videos a week, maybe more if there's more to talk about. I do have some podcast stuff underway, so should be a couple episodes released in October, and then I've got a whole new project starting in November, so pretty excited for all that. But the purpose of this video is to give a little bit of insight into where I'm at today. At the time of this filming, I'm 5 weeks post North Americans, so I actually wrote out the things I want to talk about, so maybe that'll keep me from rambling too long. But who knows? I am verbose. I got a couple clients competing in 2 days, so if you see me keep looking at my phone, it's because they're in the process of messaging me. I'm trying to get them all squared away. But so 5 weeks post show. Current body weight 242, 243 waking. It's been going up a little bit the last 10, 11, 12 days. So show day I was 230.6, so 12 to 13 pounds over 5 weeks, which is a lot tighter than we kept it in 2023 when I prepped. Much tighter. Actually, I was probably already up like 20 to 25 pounds at that point. Feel very good still, joints, body, all that. So training breakdown, still doing the same split, the same rotation I talked about in the previous vlog. 2 days on, 1 day off, 2 days on, and just rotating like that. Basically everything gets hit every 6th day, with the exception of calves gets hit twice in the 4 days, abs gets hit twice in the 4 days, and I hit extra glutes and hams with my back day, as well as hitting them with legs, obviously. So volume, I've been increasing it week to week. Also intensity's been increasing. Loading on some movements has continued to go up. Actually, my strength has really been climbing a bit. I'm still not testing the waters with anything crazy, but you know, I may not need to with this approach of training that I'm doing. So I'm kind of just taking it week to week. I don't really have a concrete plan of how I'm going to approach things overall. Danny LaMartina may, and I say may as in she definitely will probably take over my training at some point. Maybe we'll wait on that till like 2026. Maybe we'll do it in November. I don't really know right now. I'm just taking it week to week. But so today I did a leg day. I made the call this weekend that I was going to take Tuesday, Wednesday off, back-to-back days. I was starting to feel a bit fatigued. Joints were getting a little sticky. Still feel good. It's just things that I know start to build up in me, like my elbows and shoulders get a little achy. And that's a byproduct of the volume. So the volume is definitely up there for me, even though I'm not challenging myself with heavy loading. You know, the amount of sets, you know, when you're doing 20, 25, 30, 35 total sets in a session, it does add up, at least for me. So I took 2 days off. Part of that too was I had PT with I had dry needling with my PT Jason on Wednesday, and I really needed my legs worked on. So with all the squatting I've been doing on the Roger Squat Pro and the single leg work with the lunges, Bulgarians, and the rack pulls and the stiff leg deads, felt like my SI was kind of slipping and I couldn't get it to release. It was actually the L1 S5 was just kind of stuck, so he needled it, gave me a quick adjustment, and I'm good to go. Legs was very good today. I am smoked but not smashed. That's the new approach in terms of how I want to manage things. If I smash myself too much, I think my body goes the other way. Appetite goes down, inflammation in the body goes up. I think I'm more prone because of the previous gut issues. And my dad does have rheumatoid arthritis, so that is hereditary. I don't think I have it. I've never had the autoimmune testing for it, but I'm also 34, 22 years of weight training. I was a firefighter. I was a national level baseball player. Like, I've put my body through some shit, so I think I'm definitely, I feel in my prime, but I also have mileage. So I'm just very in tune with my body right now, and I'm trusting my instincts. So told me to take 2 days off. I did. Didn't think twice about it. After Tuesday's day off, I woke up Wednesday feeling really good, knowing I could train if I needed to. But because I was getting that dry needling, which is essentially a trauma in itself, the way he needles me, I was just going to take another day off and push it to today, which worked out great because legs was great. My glutes, he opened those up. He opened up my left hamstring, and just got everything moving. So, and then I have the next 4 sessions are probably the highest volume that I'll be doing so far since the show, and probably the highest intensity. My plan is to see how that goes. If the elbows and shoulders are achy or get sore during my chest and shoulder day and my back day, then I'm gonna pull the volume back for a week. Not necessarily deload fully, but just take the volume back to maybe what I was doing a few weeks ago, because I think it's just, I look at it as like, I'm climbing a mountain with the volume and the increasing of the intensity, and then I'm basically just going back down that mountain a certain amount of whatever you want to feet for this analogy, and then I'm just gonna chill there. I'm still gonna train, but then I'm just gonna start climbing back up coming out of that. So I'm just devoluming the body, I guess, to let those little aches and niggles from the excessive volume kind of wear off, if that makes sense. It all makes sense in my head. I'm doing my best to kind of try to give you guys some insights of my thought process. Obviously, Dom's in the loop very much with all this, and Danny as well. She's programmed some new mobility for me as far as the daily and the primers that I do pre-session, which I do plan to get videos of. I had somebody ask about that either on Instagram or maybe the last vlog, I can't remember. So coming out of that, if I do that devolume, I'm gonna probably adjust the split to go to a 5 days a week, and actually have the days be set. So I have the same off days every week, which for me would probably be Wednesday, Saturday. Wednesdays is when I see my PT every other week. So sometimes I see him and I have to adjust my training time, or if it's a body part that I need him to work on, I have to potentially adjust that. So I'm just going to take that day off. And if I do that, I'll have 2 leg days a week. And I'll get more into that when that happens, if that happens. Probably going to happen because it's already on my mind, and I want to try it. Because one of the leg days will be much, much different. One of them is going to be very similar to how it is now, but the other will be a different approach. So that's the training in a nutshell. Any questions, obviously, comments, I'll answer everything to the best of my ability. Food-wise, let me pull up the current macros. Dom did increase my food on this past Monday, a few days ago. And I did, because I was taking 2 days off, that meant I was non-training day diet, which is lower food, back-to-back days. So he gave me a sushi meal last night in place of my last meal. So I had 25 pieces in the nigiri, little refeed, I guess you could call it. So the current macros are total calories on my training day, 4,086. Total protein, and remember this is total, not direct, is 335. Total carbs, 496. Total fat, 71. Non-training day, lower. Total calories, 3,312. Total protein, 325. Total carbs, 294. And total fat, 82. So fat's a little higher, carbs significantly lower. Insulin sensitivity is in a very good spot. You know, blood sugar has been trending very well for me. And then I did get blood work, which I'll go over. So that's the food. It's been basic. Other than that sushi refeed, there's been no off-plan eating, which I don't eat off-plan unless I'm told to. Especially in this phase, you know, it's very important to, this phase is setting up the true off-season for it to start. So for some of you guys out there that are newer, never gone through a reverse, I know I got a lot of clients, a lot of first-timers competing this year. If you're watching this, you know, treat that reverse, rebound, whatever you want to call it, post-show period. Treat it like an extension of the contest prep. You're obviously going to be doing way less cardio. Your weight's going to be trending up. The fatigue from prep falls off. Brain function obviously comes back. You start sleeping a bit better, but it's still an extension of prep in terms of your habits, your discipline, you know. And I'll be honest, you know, I'm hunger doesn't bother me, but I am hungry every hour of every day. I could eat more food at all times, which is a really good spot to be in, especially for me, because I've had to push the calories extremely high to grow in previous most of my bodybuilding career, actually. And hunger hitting a wall is always what happens for me. So for me, I want that hunger to be there. And anybody that's pushed food and had to eat when you're not hungry, you know what I'm talking about. You want that hunger to be there. And it's also a good sign of that your insulin sensitivity is in a good spot too, which was backed up for me by blood work and then obviously tracking my blood glucose. So the PEDs, we actually lowered things even more. So I previously 450 mgs of test since the show ended. 10 IUs of GH every other day. And then now test is now 300 a week and GH stayed the same. So just gonna lower it more, keep, you know, I guess you could call this my health phase. And then probably, I would say November is when we'll start kicking things up for the first big push. So probably another 4 to 5 weeks I'll do 4 to 5 weeks of test at 300, which honestly, it doesn't, I'm actually liking being on less gear right now. It's a good break. You know, obviously I still have very good composition. My pumps are out of this world still. I don't mind being off. Well, off for me. There's no real mental issues with it. I don't care about the shreds and all that. It's good on the mind, and you know, it's obviously just less injections as a whole, even though I do a lot of peptides. So Retta, we did bump that up to 500 micrograms twice per week. So I was previously half of that. I wanted to see if I could go higher now that I'm out of prep and there's not all the orals in play that put the stress on the liver. And no issues. Actually, with me, Retta works very interesting in that I'm hungrier. The day after I take my injection, I am starving. Like, lick the bowl clean with your cream of rice, you know, get all the salt off the plate type hunger. I use Zins, so you can see me spitting. This is not a product plug. And on YouTube, don't ban me. But Zins can help with the hunger a bit, and I like nicotine too. So I started those in prep. I'd never done one until like 8 weeks out or something, and then now they've just stayed in. So give those a go if you need a little hunger suppressant. But other peptides, still using the SS31. I actually just bumped that up to 3 milligrams today. I started at 1, 10 days after that, I bumped up to 2. Been doing 2 until today, I bumped up to 3. Um, Carnitine still in 6 days a week before cardio, which cardio is six times a week, fasted 20 minutes. Mobility I do every day, sometimes twice a day if it's a training day. Other peptides, well, I use NAD and glutathione. Still using melanotan, still using PT141. I think that's it for now. Trying to think off the top of my head. It's all written on my board in my kitchen over there, but definitely liking the SS31. Oh, methylene blue. I do use that 2 to 3 days a week. I am back using caffeine again. You know, I didn't use it the last 8 weeks of prep. Caffeine's in. Sometimes a coffee. Usually I'll do 200 milligrams of MUTANT's Kill It, or is it Kill It or Kill Switch? Kill Switch. Like a thermogenic. I like it in the morning, and honestly, I can't get my heart rate to the target range without some stimulants. So I need a little bit of caffeine before that. I do have another 160 milligrams of caffeine with my pre-workout for any day that isn't legs. Legs, I do MUTANT's Mind FK, non-stim. I don't like stimulants on leg day. And then I personally like modafinil. I'll take 100 milligrams of that more mornings than I won't. That seems to help me with alertness and just overall cognition. There's no negatives to it for me. So that's where we're at with PEDs, peptides, blood work. I just got back this last week, I believe. I ran bloods 10 days out, and it was pretty solid. I mean, you're obviously running more stuff 10 days out, so there was some things that were off, but certainly not anything that jumped out as negative to me. And then, you know, the lot of bloods I just got was very good, much improved, obviously, as it should be. So everything's good. Everything's good to push, and it should be even better. And you know, by November, especially coming down and test. Insulin sensitivity is in a very good spot. You know, fasting glucose in the 70s. My sleep is probably the most consistent and the best it's ever been in my life. Very consistent with my bedtime. Well, pretty consistent with my bedtimes, you know, anytime between 10 and 11. And then I get up at 5 a.m. every day. That's been very key for me to make sure that that 5 a.m. wake up happens no matter how much sleep I get. So on average, I'd say I get 6.5 hours of sleep a night. I do want to work to get that higher, which just means I need to get that last meal down and get in bed sooner, which is just time management and, you know, making sure I start idling down sooner, so I can get that sleep number up to more consistently 7 to 7.5 hours. But I am recovering well. Everything's going good. You know, cognition. I'm more almost every day I get up before my alarm, which is a good sign of recovery for me. If I pop up right out of bed. So the discipline, all the boxes are being checked. I probably will actually get another GI map just to, you know, check my boxes there and to make sure nothing needs to be, not that I would need to run a full protocol like I did 2 years ago, but again, it's all feedback, just to see if there's anything that can be improved to then, you know, or anything that might need a little fixing to just make me that much more efficient in terms of my GI health. Your gut is the centerfold for everything, so making sure that that's on point is a priority for me, given my history with things. So that is pretty much the run of it. pretty basic. I like this approach. I think I like it. I prefer it over blasting gear right off. I've done both, like I said now, and at this point and where I'm at, I like this approach. It's just better on the mind. Just letting training and nutrition or food be the driving source of the rebound, while still understanding that all the systems of the body need to be aligned and working properly in order to get yourself to a point to where you're going to grow and grow efficiently. So I feel really good where I'm at. I feel really good about the true off-season push that's on deck here, probably starting in November, and I'm just ready to grow. So don't think I have much else to add to that. So if there's questions, drop them down below. I'm happy to answer anything. I think these style vlogs just provide insights and allow people to kind of get an idea of what a super heavyweight with my level of experience and who's needs to grow and put on more size is doing currently, and what I plan to be doing. So I'm having a lot of fun with training. I'm having a lot of fun just assessing everything day to day, week to week. I'm very in tune with my body, my recovery. So yeah, appreciate all the support. Like these videos, share them, make sure you're subbed to the channel, and we'll keep cranking out videos every week. I'm going to try to do better with the training vlogging. There's obviously some learning curves with this Osmo. It does really well with stuff like this. It's kind of trickier in the gym, I've noticed, but we threw the leg day one up, and we'll see if we can throw in one training vlog video style a week. And then I got some cooking videos written down that I want to do, how I do my bulk cooking, and then some different recipes, I guess you could call them. I'm pretty basic with my food. I'm not a big, I don't go out of my way to make anything exotic, but, make your food taste good is still something I try to do. So anyway, before I ramble further, until next time, we're out of here.